Hello, I'm Anthony. Pigments 4 has just been released. This is Arturia's flagship software. I've done a very comprehensive tutorial series on version 3. I'll put a link to the playlist above. Today I'm just going to talk about the stuff that's been introduced with version 4. And I'm happy to announce that we no longer have to have dark grey on black. I've got this bugbear, interfaces that are dark grey on black, all moody and sultry. Not really my thing. This is a vast improvement as far as I'm concerned. This is now the user interface I'm going to use from this point onwards. You can just see how clear these tab sections are. Everything is completely intuitive, complete game changer for me. This is my interface of choice. Quite a few of the interface changes that have been made are subtle but significant. They're musical. They're basically a synthesizer being used and people realizing how to improve the interface, make your workflow much better. These little drop-down boxes always used to be there, but the left and right arrows to allow us to scroll through the various options. Really simple, makes a big difference. You know, this stuff is really important. Little power switches on the FX and sequence sections just to turn them on and off. All of this stuff really matters. You know, it really speeds up your workflow. Got a bunch of new presets, Pigments 4 banks, and these 3 additional wavelengths banks that you can download. I'm not going to spend ages today talking about the presets themselves. The synth sounds great, we know this, but let's just, this is just an example. This preset comes from the version 4 bank. And it's just, yeah, the presets are great. But I'm really interested in how the synth works under the hood. I like to build my own sounds. I'll certainly use presets as a jumping off point. I really want to know, what's gone on under the hood to improve how the synth works. So we'll concentrate on that today. So I'll just pull up a different sound and we'll get underway. Let's try the distorted lead. Make sure my levels aren't too painful. Now, possibly my favorite improvement that's been introduced in this version, and it's such a simple thing, but it's absolutely wonderful. You can basically pick up any of your modulations and just drag them onto a component and drop it. So I've now assigned envelope 2 to the filter cutoff. That's just absolutely wonderful. Now you can see envelope 2, here it is, applying to that filter cutoff. We've got a new filter mode, the MS-20. And you can see how sharp that resonance spike is. I do need to be careful with this sound. Let's be gentle. Come on now, behave yourself. Okay, I've got my levels balanced. Really intense resonance spike, absolutely. Wonderful stuff. Pull that resonance spike down a little bit. So these are synths that Arturia have emulated, and now they've basically extracted the filter banks out and dropped them into Pigments. MS-20's new one, absolutely love the filter bank in the MS-20, so that's a great place. I've done a series on that synth as well. I'll stick a link to that above. Once you get to that stage where you've built your sound and you're happy with it, you have this option to declutter the interface. There's a new option in the top bar called Play. If I click that, it basically just dramatically simplifies the synthesizer. So you now get a best of set of options, just the things that you're most likely to want to play with. Here's the cutoff, for instance, all your really basic options, and you get this kind of overview of the various different modulators in the background. Fundamentally, it's still the same sound. If you want to edit it, just jump back into full synth mode. So that's a nice to have if you want that decluttered look. And one of my favorite parts of this synthesizer is the harmonic engine. If we go into the tutorials, there's a bunch of stuff. I recommend that you go through all of these because they're very good. In addition to my series, of course. The harmonic oscillator is a nice one for me to demonstrate. Some of the changes that have happened to this engine had quite a significant overhaul. The interface is much cleaner now, looks much prettier. Once again, it's another one of those baby stepping evolution kind of things. You can see the harmonic shapes from the morph window much more clearly now. Get some absolutely otherworldly sounds out of this thing. It is just an absolute sound designer's joy. this harmonic engine. Really good fun to play with. It's basically an additive synthesizer, just stacking partials on top of each other to make interesting sounds, but with so many options to play with, it's really cool. A quick point to note, this knob here is the window FM. In version 3, there used to be a line coming out of the modulator section, which came all the way along here and pointed at these knobs up here. The line's disappeared, but the knob doesn't have a label, so this is your FM. You see it in the pop-up IntelliSense down at the bottom. There's the FM being introduced. Awesome thing, great fun. Let's get a new sound up. This is another one of the version 4 presets. And I'll show you this new FX option called Super Unison. Basically emulates the unison mode, but you don't need the CPU overhead of the unison mode. So if I just turn it off for a moment and then on, hear the sound thicken up. Feels a bit like cheating. And over in the synth engine, got a ton of new noises to play with in the utility engine. Never underestimate noise. It is absolutely wonderful. Just look at how many different options there are to play with. Crazy stuff. Dishwasher, why not? Let's have some phasing as well. Oh yeah. Really nice evolution of the synth. It just feels like it's become that mature thing that always takes a couple of years. You know, you go through your various revisions, get your user interface absolutely settled. And that'll do us for today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Please hit like if you did. I'll see you again. Thanks a lot.